My name's Kirsten, and I was an anonymous kidney donor in January of 2020. So I never really thought about being an organ donor until I saw this story on the news. I'm actually a physician, and throughout all of my medical training, it was never really brought up in any of my courses or during my training. And that is one reason I really appreciate this opportunity to tell my story, because I think it's very important to raise awareness about the difference that donating a kidney can make. I learned about kidney disease and dialysis during my medical training, but I was mistaken and uninformed to think that being on dialysis was basically a substitute for having a kidney. And I didn't realize the health is much better in people who actually have received a kidney transplant. So I really appreciate this opportunity to tell my story, because I would really like to help raise awareness and try and promote live organ donation. I decided to donate a kidney because I was watching the news, and there was a story about a man who was asking anybody who was O negative who would consider donating a kidney to call a phone number. And I knew that I was O negative. And when I heard the story, I felt very strongly that God was calling me to call that number. So that was the beginning of my journey. My recovery was actually very, very easy with no complications. I was very fortunate. I was back to work in 2 weeks and actually took a trip to Disney World 4 weeks after my donation, and was walking 10 miles a day and riding on roller coasters. So I actually did not end up donating a kidney to the man that I saw on the news, although I was a match for him. His surgeon felt that we had too big of a difference in our body sizes, and he didn't think that my kidney would be the best match for him. So I entered what was called the general donor pool. And then about a year after I had donated my kidney, I got a phone call from one of the coordinators who told me that because my kidney was an anonymous donation, it led to what they called a kidney chain. And so 4 people actually ended up giving kidneys, and 4 people ended up receiving kidneys. And she told me that they wanted to make a story out of it to try and promote awareness. And she told me that my recipient actually wanted to meet me. And we met, and they had some people there to interview us and a recording crew, and they made their story, and it actually appeared on one of the local news stations as well. And Sue and I had an instant connection. We have found many commonalities between the two of us as we've gotten to know each other. And I am just so grateful that she was kind enough to open her life up and her story up to me, so that I could know that she's alive and well, and also have the affirmation that this indeed was what God was asking me to do. The way the whole thing turned out, it absolutely had to be something that was God-driven. So in the end, this actually ended up being more of a gift for me than a gift from me. I have this wonderful new friendship with Sue. I was able to answer what I felt was a calling, and now I'm able to try and help promote awareness, which I feel as a healthcare professional is something that I should really be doing. So anybody who's considering this, I would tell them, if they're able to do it and it feels right for them, I would absolutely recommend it. It has been one of the biggest blessings in my life.